This is Kelle Vandenberg with Two Crows Consulting. And
Only one crow.
no, there's two crows.
No,
Okay.
just one.
But I want there to be two.
You can have two. Well,
Okay.
I'll change it. I'll redo all the business cards to the website. No problem.
Okay, let me back up again. This is my friend Kelle with One Crow Consulting.
Singular.
See, that's the thing. Crows never travel alone. That's what it is.
That's what makes it different.
See? All right, so she's the solitary crow. And so, okay, first of all, you have to understand that Kelle is not only a dear friend, she's one of the marketing geniuses of the planet.
Oh, thank you. I don't know about that, but thanks.
And so, Kelle, I've got a whole slew of questions for you because,
Okay.
So this is an adventure that you've been on for a long time, and you've got a lot of background in the corporate world, kind of carrying the load of marketing.
Correct. I started, learning marketing in the hotel industry and working my way up through there to director of sales and marketing, and then eventually as a general manager in the Marriott Corporation. And back a long time ago, which I will not give the year, and then I started working with smaller companies, got into the coffee industry, and worked with small companies where you don't have a marketing department. You have one person sitting in an office shooting ideas out there, right? And this is, long before social media, where you're just trying to get the word out and trying to put together attractive collateral pieces, but you don't know that it's called collateral because you're doing everything. You're doing HR, you're doing AR, you're doing, general manager stuff, and working with those small companies to help grow into a bigger company where maybe they could have somebody dedicated and separate those hats a little bit.
So you definitely are the chief cook and bottle washer and all of those things.
Exactly. So I started with a small coffee company. And then I moved into a larger corporate environment, and where I was able to kind of take all of those hats that I had been wearing and start to specialize and really, hone my teeth in marketing. And that company grew from a $12 million company into a $42 million company. Still small potatoes in the larger corporate world, but not a small
That's a lot
company.
of growth.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so and so that was a wonderful experience. But it was really kind of time to take that knowledge and have a company that was focused on not just helping go back to those roots of that smaller company, and really that's where I find the excitement, is bringing small companies fresh ideas that are attainable, that are doable, that are easy to implement, that aren't going to overtax them, over budget them, and overburden their staff, right? But something that is uniquely them, but easy to manage.
Yeah.
And I love doing that. I love taking that environment and helping that grow, and helping small entrepreneurs realize their dream. And I'm mirroring that in my own company because I'm doing it right along with them.
Yeah.
So I find it very exciting.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
So now, you just kind of described a little bit about, and you kind of maybe even answered my question in advance a little bit, but who would you see being your ideal customer?
Well, actually, it's twofold. I love helping kind of those small businesses grow, but I want to have a social conscious within my company, and that was one of the biggest reasons I wanted to start my own company. Is I was tired of nodding outwardly to corporate politics, but inwardly just kind of slowly dying on the vine. So I really wanted to have my own say on how I helped companies. And so I really want to focus on nonprofit work as well, and help nonprofits. In fact, I'm barely open for business at this point, and I'm working with 2 nonprofits already. So in addition to those small businesses, I think for me, my ideal company would be nonprofits that are out to make the world better just by existing, and they don't have the bandwidth to turn the volume up and get their message out there. I want to turn that knob for them.
You bet. Up to 11?
Absolutely. Blow the doors like that old Memorex commercial. Now I am dating myself.
Yeah. So actually, kind of on that, so what are some of the tools that you're excited to bring to bear on that task?
So simple stuff is going from the basics back to even just brand guidelines, understanding, social channel management, understanding the connectivity of, why it's important to actually have the same font in every place that you're
branding standards?
Yeah. Let's start there. Yeah. So just just some of those basics, but then moving through, rebranding or analytics, right? And one of my favorite things to do is hold a marketing audit, right? And you go through and you sit down and you say, okay, what do you currently have? What are you currently using? What are your competitors doing? And do a deep dive into a competitive analysis. And I love that kind of analysis, and really looking at all of the competitors. What are they doing? What do their websites look like? Where are they? What are their reviews? Where are they at? What's their social channel management?
Right.
And really going through what are their prices? What is their structure? How many employees do they have? And just going through and doing that deep dive on competitive analysis, and then rank you right along with them. That will show companies where they need to move through, and I love doing that kind of stuff.
That's really exciting. I mean, I think most of us in the business world, it's like you understand that you have competition. You understand that you are constantly in the fray, and yet most of us don't know what our standing is there.
And you need to know. You need to know, and it's not overly complicated, right? It's if you do a simple ranking system, you can see where you measure up, and where your goals are. We talk about strengths, we talk about weaknesses of both the competition and of the individual business, and making sure that we can bring your standing up, and starting with that competitive analysis really allows you to kind of take a step back and go, oh, and you really get a chance to look at the playing field and see where you need to maneuver through it in order to grow your company. And that's really the key. I started One Pro Consulting because I love helping companies grow, whether that's through business development or marketing analysis or branding, however that comes about. And a lot of times it's all of it.
Yeah.
And even advising. I do coaching. I do service and sales training. I mean, it's all part and parcel of the end goal, which is to grow the company.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe even backing up a little bit. So when you talk about you mentioned the nonprofits, and I know that you have kind of a passion there.
I do.
For the underdog.
I always have.
But of course, that's not your only focus. Who else might you be looking for as a client?
So, companies that are either they're just starting out, they've got an idea, they don't know where to get started, they've got their business license, but nobody knows they're there, right? Or companies that have been in existence for a while, but they've grown kind of tired in their game planning, and they're just known, but now there's competition in the field and they need to up their game, so they need to do some rebranding or some reintroducing of their branding.
Right.
So I think companies that are anywhere between 100,000 a year to 5 million a year, that pocket for me, because most companies that size, they don't have a lot of internal marketing. It's they're sending it out to their friend, or their wife's doing it at night, or or they've got a kid that's in graphic design that.
Right, or they picked up an intern somewhere.
Yeah. And the problem with that though is there's no consistency, right? So So because there may be several hands touching the marketing, there's no consistency, there's no integration of that brand management within all of the different arenas that they're marketing to. And that's why it's important to have that marketing audit and make sure that things are integrated consistently.
I love the idea of that marketing audit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just really
Yeah.
so powerful. And I'm kind of curious. So when you do that audit, I've got to think that you're uncovering potentially competitors that maybe were unknown.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. In fact, I have a client now. I always ask. I say, "Give me your 3 top competitors, or give me your 3. Give me 3 competitors, and or as many that you know about."
Right.
And so in her marketing audit, we're doing our baseline competitive analysis, and there are 2 other competitors that she wasn't even aware of that are in her same town.
Yeah.
And one of them is ranking really well. It's
Not on her radar.
No.
And I think that that's so interesting because I think so many of us kind of get in our little bubble. It's like we have a couple of targets on the horizon.
Yeah.
And that's all we focus on, and we just kind of lose track of everything on the periphery.
Yeah, you may have something coming up this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really I think conceptually, if we're going to grow, we have to look at our weaknesses. We have to look at those areas that we struggle with, or that we may not know that we struggle with, right? And having somebody from the outside come in and just kind of non-emotionally just put it out on black and white, and say, okay, here's where we're at. Here's where you stack against the competition. Let's talk about what we can do to either improve this, or, hey, you're doing great against the competition. How can we grow?
Yeah.
And we talk about, when I sit down with, I sit down with clients and we do an intake, and we talk about how, what are their goals? Where do they want to be? Whether it's a small mom and pop and they have 5 employees, but 5 years from now they would love to expand and have 20 employees and have a delivery service or whatever it might be. All right, let's back into that goal then. Let's see how we can get there.
What's the path?
Yeah. And we build that path, and that's part of business development. That growth planning is critical, and the feasibility plan of planning that growth and that development, that's the groundwork.
Yeah.
Marketing just shines the light on that and pushes that out and allows people to see that plan come to fruition.
Right. So if you have, say, a new business that's just kind of ramping up, will you help them with developing, say, a business plan, a marketing plan, and kind of all of that program? So you'll take it from the ground up.
Yep, I will. In fact, I'm working with a young couple who we're going to be building their business plan because they need to get funded from the bank.
Yeah, like SBA sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're gonna put together the business plan for them, and it's I told them, I said, we're gonna get up close and personal.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Well, and it's funny because you don't realize how personally and how closely we identify with our business.
Well, it's our dream, right?
Well, it is. But it becomes a part of your identity.
It does. Yeah. And I think when I jumped from the corporate world into really trying to decide if I wanted to build my own company, I had to shed that identity of that corporate life. I had to really shed that, and that took a hard moment. That took a hard moment and a little bit of whiskey, but mostly a hard moment.
And who am I again?
Yeah. But when that decision was made, that was it. And I knew it was the right one because people started finding me, and I started helping, and it felt wonderful. And building that dream, you have so much energy in your day.
Right.
And I think when, entrepreneurship is really just, allowing ourselves to dream and allowing ourselves to take that dream and build it into a reality.
I look at it as it's you growing into what you could be.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And it's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. You know, I did though when I started, I was worried because everyone's like, when you work from home or you have a home office, you have to be really disciplined. And I thought, okay, I've got to make sure I'm really disciplined, and I have to set my hours and this kind of stuff. The opposite is happening in my world. I have to make myself stop.
Oh yeah.
And say, you've been sitting at the same spot
Glued here for
yeah. 10 hours. You need to go for a walk. You need some people time.
You need a little break here.
Yeah, and so, but when you're so passionate about putting your heart and soul in that,
right.
It just you lose focus on the peripheral, and you're building it, you're growing it.
Well, and that's where the fun is. I mean, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we do it, right?
Absolutely. I never expected it to be so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm a people person. I've never met a stranger, as my father always said. But having the chance to listen to other people's dreams and other people's challenges, and really, have them kind of open up and say, this is where I'd love to be. This is where that to me is exciting. It makes me feel not like I'm the only, Fruit Loop in the bunch. Everybody else is out there dreaming too,
So, actually that brings us back to, what's the best way for people to reach you?
I would go to oneproconsulting.com.
Okay.
In about
Excellent.
3 days.
And I'm going to put that here on the film, so you'll be able to see that. We'll actually have all your contact info in here.
Absolutely.
And is there anything else that people should know about One Crow Consulting, or about you?
Well, I think if you're doing marketing, keep it relevant and keep it simple. Just be real with it. Don't try to be beyond what you are. People like just the reality of things. They want it. They want to keep it simple, clean, easy to understand.
Keep it real.
Yeah, just keep it real, and that should be the baseline of life.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it's not, I don't want that life. Wait, I didn't want that life.
Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you.
So appreciate it.
Thanks. Great to see you, man.
You bet. And this is Kelle Vandenberg, One Crow Consulting.